Jurassic World Rebirth. Very simply put, it is harmless slop. It is harmless slop. Bad movie, harmless slop, but bad movie. Now, here's how we're going to do this. Considering this is not a standard long form review for me, I'm going to call this one of my good, bad, and ugly reviews. We're going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's how I'm going to frame it to keep me on track. Otherwise, I might just wander too far off into the wilderness talking about it. We already know what the story is about. Essentially, what we have here is it is a follow-up to the previous World trilogy. And bottom line is, pharmaceutical company hires Scarlett Johansson's mercenary and her team, or the team she puts together, to get a paleontologist who I think is gay, but, whatever. It doesn't come up in the movie, but he feels gay. Now they have to go collect basically dino blood juice from the three largest dinosaurs currently that ever existed that exist all in the same area right now, so that they can use it to create life-saving drugs for the future. And of course, what happens is everything kind of goes to shit, because that's what happens in these movies. But they essentially fall apart when trying to do the mission. Now, let's just go into the good. The good. I could see an actual movie inside this. The actual concept of the movie is believable, because the movie makes the foundation for, while it's junk science, they lay the foundation for their junk science as to why they can't take it from the current dinosaurs who are still in captivity, why it doesn't work, evaporation, degradation, all that kind of stuff. We have to get it from these super versions of all the dinosaurs that are still all now habitating around the equator, on islands around the equator, especially on an island that just happens to be a research center where all this shit happened. There is a good movie in there, because if they had just streamlined this movie down to hire ScarJo, put the team together, go on the hunt, it would have been a simple paint by numbers, semi-horror rush movie. Oh, things go wrong. Characters get eaten by dinosaurs. We somehow manage to survive, and we learn a life moral lesson at the end. That would have been fine. The performances are nothing special. The most famous actors in this movie all deliver what you would expect. Scarlett Johansson, she does fine. Her titties are bouncing around a lot in this, so that's kind of good. For someone who's complaining about being over-sexualized, they had her in those tight tank tops a lot in this movie. So ScarJo's full of shit, but she does a good job. Her character is not overly whammonized. She's capable of doing everything she does: shooting a gun, grappling, mountain climbing, running around, shooting stuff. She's not head scissor takedowning any of the dinosaurs. She's not climbing up any of them and kung fuing them in the eye or grappling. She's not doing anything stupid. She's doing everything within the realm of her skill set in the movie. So her character is not a feminist icon or anything like that. The Marshall Ali's character, he's actually the best character in the movie. He's very easily to relate to, because he seems very straightforward. He has a very light backstory, and I'll get to that in a minute. He has a light backstory that you can kind of relate to. Lost a kid, it broke up his marriage, and he's just trying to find meaning in everything he does right now. Should he have died at the end? I think it would have made it more impactful if he had, but I can be okay with him living, that he managed to get underwater and swim away from the Downsasaurus Rex. Hell, they even had Francis from Deadpool was in this for a few minutes until he got eaten by the Mosasaurus, or was it a Spinosaurus? Which one ate him? I think it was a Spinosaurus that ate him. Anyway, and everybody else is kind of nothing. The rest of the cast is kind of nothing. They're not real anybody. Nobody I know, nobody I care about, or I could pick out of a lineup. Performances are all average. The writing overall, average slop writing, nothing to write home about. There's no agenda with the paleontologist. He's a bit of a climate baby. To kill a dinosaur is a sin. Oh, shut up. Just shut up. You shut up, and I wished you had died, but you didn't. Point is, outside of little whiny semi-climate PETA bullshit like that, there's no real messaging in there. I'm okay with it. But that's about the good of it. There was a good movie in there somewhere. It's tolerable. It's mostly boring, inoffensive slop. There's no real agenda in it. If you sit down and watch it, I didn't really see a socialism message in there. I mean, let's give it to the world. That's a tried and true trope. That kind of trope. Let's give this knowledge to the world. I mean, that's just like anti-corpo shit. That's been used in a lot of movies forever. So I'm not gonna drill down on that. I'm not gonna drill down on that. The bad. Here's the bad. It's too long. It's about 30, 40 minutes too long, and I'll get to that in my ugly. The science is junk science. It makes no sense. The whole idea of this mutant-infested island losing control is kind of dumb. You didn't need the mutant dinosaurs at all. They arrive at the end as though they've been a threat for the entire movie, but they are a weak addition to the movie. Because in a sense, you're supposed to see the Downosaurus Rex as a villain, but it's not a villain dinosaur. It's just doing its thing. That's its territory, and it's going to eat you if you come in its territory. So the Downosaurus Rex is not a villain. Those mutant flying things, the mix between the raptor and the whatever, the mutodons, I think it was the mutodons. What are they? They're a last-minute addition threat. There was no threat dinosaur. You didn't need to. This is where the bad comes in. This is them trying to replicate the threat of the raptors from the original story. And you didn't need to do that. One, because you didn't have Michael Crichton's source material to work with anymore. But two, you should have just had disaster, and you're just running into one disaster after another. You didn't need to have a mimic of these dinosaurs hunting you at the end with intelligence and this and that. It didn't work. It falls apart. But that leads us now. That's the bad of it. Also, I guess the bad of it also is this is a movie that, in a sense, doesn't need to be made. It doesn't need to be made because you are so far removed from Michael Crichton's source material that it bears no resemblance to Michael Crichton's works at all. And it doesn't resonate with anything that he was trying to tell you in his books. Don't play God. Well, obviously, don't play God because they must have they made mutant dinosaurs, but it doesn't ring true. Now it's just in your face, pop and sizzle factor. That's all it is. But now the ugly. The ugly. The complete and unnecessary addition of the goddamn family. They don't serve a single true purpose. They were put in this movie for one purpose. So that the little girl can squeeze through the cage at the end of the movie and pull the lever to open it. That's the only reason they all exist. So they can get to that point and have her do that. And also to show that pharmaceutical guy bad because he didn't let the dumb bitch get eaten by a Spinosaurus, or because he wanted to let the dumb bitch get eaten by a Spinosaurus. That entire family is obnoxious. And that's a bad fucking dad. That is a bad fucking dad. How retarded are you to go sailing that close to dinosaur-infested waters? What the fuck is wrong with you? And how fucking weird is it to let your daughter, with her big-ass titties, bring the boyfriend that's clearly slamming her, the retarded boyfriend, you're bringing them onto your boat? That is just all kinds of creepy weird. And that boyfriend, my fucking God. What is wrong with that dude? There is he has one redeeming moment where he jumps in after her, but that just proves he's kind of stupid. There is nothing redeeming about any of that family. The little girl, I made friends with the tiny Triceratops wannabe thingy monster. Oh, we're being chased by fucking mutadons, and I'm gonna take it and feed it fucking food in the middle of the goddamn convenience store? What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, it's retarded. And that dad is so dumb. You could cut out every scene of this family in the movie, and it doesn't change the movie. Just write a better script to have them get out of the sealed cage gate. Write a better way to get out of that. Don't just do the whole movie with the family so the little girl can squeeze through it and be a hero. No. They serve no purpose in this movie. You could have cut 30 to 40 minutes out of this movie and made it a tighter dinosaur disaster flick. Because then it's really a palatable. Honestly, I tell you, go look at it. If you take out every one of their scenes, this movie is infinitely more palatable. And in fact, it goes from bad to mid. Think about it. You take everything out, you take all of them out of the movie, and the movie raises in quality. It then becomes just a mid movie. But everything bad about the movie, with the exception of the Snickers wrapper getting caught in the door in the beginning, everything about this movie that's bad can be traced to that family and everything involved with them, from their dialogue to their behavior to their attitudes. Everything bad about this movie can be traced to them, because if you look at the team hunting the dinosaurs, all those scenes are fine. Those scenes are all fine. There's nothing really bad about those scenes. They're just average. They're not great. They're just average. And you would have been left with an average movie that ran about an hour 20, hour 30 minutes. And it would probably make you more money. It would probably really get to 1.3, 1.5 billion if it was that. So there it is. That's the ugly, that family who are featured on the poster right here. They are supremely retarded and serve no purpose. They are the worst horrible thing, and they all should have got eaten. The wrong people got eaten in this movie. Francis from Deadpool deserved better. Everybody else who got eaten should have lived, and the whole family should have got eaten. I mean, you don't need the fucking T-Rex scene in this movie. You just did it so you could have a T-Rex in the movie. That's dumb. And that's what makes the movie bad. The ugly makes the bad in this movie. So there it is. There's my good, the bad, the ugly, my quick and dirty take review for Jurassic World Rebirth. If you enjoyed it, good for you. I thought it was a bad movie that could have been made into a mid movie if you got rid of the dumbass family. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.